Immediately. Okay, so we're going to need the transmission case, which is here. Then we have pretty much your main output shaft, if you want to call it. The gear, the main gear. Okay, so all you need is 3 little 1.5 screws, and they just pretty much screw in. This you want to Loctite as well, just in case you don't want to lose those. Then you have your idler gear with bearings on each side. Okay, and then we have a shaft that goes in through that holds it up as well. Then you have your smaller pinion gear that goes attached to the shaft, where the spur gear goes attached to. You have small pins, your spring, your spacers, and your screws here, as well as your bearings. So of course, when you turn it around, you have a dry transmission case. I'm going to go ahead and install the bearings inside the case, like so. Okay, then we have one that pops in up here, and then the other one pops in up top as well. So you have it, 4 bearings, pretty simple. Okay, so then your idler gear pops in like such. There's a little space here for the shaft where you can just plug it in. Okay, then you have your main gear, and then comes your shaft with the little pinion gear. So we're gonna need 1 pin, and usually what you want to do, if you want to hold that pin there from moving in and out, you can put a little bit of Loctite on there, and then it'll stay in place. Okay, so we want to insert this gear through the front, and then when it does, it'll stay in place with that pin. So you guys saw that. So we're just gonna insert it from the front, not from the rear, and it should hold in place. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna push it out one way, okay, and then we just close it up like such. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and grab some green slime from Team Associated. Put some of that in here just to protect those plastic gears. You don't want them overheating, because we are gonna be running a awesome system. Then we're gonna grab some black grease, of course, from Team Associated as well, and just gonna put some in there as well. Okay, so now that it's all greased up and prepped, we can go ahead and put in the top of the case, and it should sound something like that. Sounds great. Okay, so there goes our transmission. So now we have this back plate. Okay, and it should sit flush right there. Then we have your top motor plate, and we could insert those screws, and then we can go ahead and close it up because it attaches to the motor plate. It grabs onto there. Okay, so now that we have it all closed up, there's a spacer, much like this, small little metal spacer that's included in the kit. It goes right in there, and we can push it down. It's just to prevent vibration of that shaft. So if we pull up on the shaft, we can just push it down, make it sit flush in there. Okay, so now that we have that, we can insert our other pin. There we go. It's in there. Okay, so once that's all said and done, you can start your spur gear and your slipper clutch. Now the slipper clutch comes in 2 pieces. In your kit, you're gonna have an adhesive disc inside, and you peel those off and you stick them together, and they'll stick like this. The slipper's inside there, or that pad that helps it slip. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in there. Okay, and then your spur gear goes on top of this, and you have 3 holes, so you just line up the holes and pretty much just put the screws in. Now this is the stock 87 tooth spur gear. You can put any type of spur gear you want if you're planning on doing trailing, rock crawling. I mean, it all depends on what type of terrain you're gonna take your vehicle and what are you intended, or what's your intentions with the vehicle itself. So now the spur and slipper clutch combination are in, so all we have to do is take this big spacer, put it there, your tensioning spring or your spring, another spacer, and then you have your lock nut. Now what I like doing is I like to tighten it all the way. Okay, and then I'll find a point, such as I'll line up my T-wrench with this screw here, and then I'll use that as a point. Or you can always mark it with like a silver pen or whatnot. So then I'm gonna take this one and bring it all the way, do 1 turn, and then we'll go half a turn. Okay, and that should give you a decent type of slip on your slipper clutch. Okay, so all that's left is to add on the case, which I just colored in with some silver Prisma color paint. I just been doing it to everything, even on that little logo on the receiver box here. Just personal preference, like I said, as well as on there. So all that's left is your cover, which are held by 3 small countersunk screws that are about 1.5 millimeters. And we almost forgot 1 screw here, and it's held with a lock nut at the end. So let's go ahead and tighten that one down. Okay. There goes the transmission. So, transmission and drive shafts are done. Hope you guys enjoyed this, or are enjoying this build. At the end, like always, once I build it all, I test it, and I'll give you guys my perspective and my views on the kit. So far, building it is straightforward. Nothing has failed so far. I have a couple tips for you on the chassis though, but we'll get to that once we're starting to mount everything. But this is the drive shaft and transmission portion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like always, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next build video. Thank you, guys.